Now I have 3 children and I can't live with my wife. And I just can't look at her. I can't be intimate with her. If you are a mommy's boy, don't get married. If your mom tells you what to do and what not to do, and you're still suckling milk, don't get married. So you want to marry someone whom your parents don't like and bring her to their home? Forget about this. When a father passes away, the guardian or the wali of his daughter would be, number 1.
Sir, I married my wife without the consent of my wife's parents, as we had no way. They forced my wife to marry with another one without taking her consent. Then now everyone is happy with our marriage without my father-in-law. Then my question is our marriage valid? If not, what can I do?
Such marital questions, akhi, must be submitted to the Islamic court in your country. Why do we say this? The 3 schools of thought of Imam Malik, Shafi'i, and Hanbali, they say that the marriage without the consent and approval of the woman's guardian, who is her father, is invalid. Based on what? Based on the Prophet's hadith, alayhi salatu wassalam, any woman who is married without the consent of her guardian, her marriage is invalid, invalid, invalid. Those in the subcontinent who follow the school thought of Abu Hanifa, they follow what Abu Hanifa, may Allah have mercy on his soul, said, that a woman can marry herself without the consent of her guardian. His 2 own students, and the greatest of the scholars of the Hanafi school of thought, went against him. Abu Yusuf and Al-Hasan Al-Shaybani. They said, no, the hadith of the Prophet is crystal clear. Yet, these followers of his school in the subcontinent are blind followers. They don't follow the Quran and the Sunnah, they follow their Imam. Whatever he says, they follow that blindly. And the people living in these countries usually follow their school of thought blindly because they're laymen and they know nothing better. Therefore, we can't go and say, oh, all the marriages in the subcontinent is invalid and they're not married. It's not logical. These guys are following those whom they trust. So it depends, akhi. If you are a true Muslim who follows the Quran and the Sunnah with the understanding of the 3 favorite generations, and you know the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ, yet because you wanted to follow your whims and desires, you loved that woman, you got married to her against the approval, or at least without the knowledge of her father, then the marriage is invalid. How to rectify it? This is another story altogether, and may Allah make things easy. Is it mandatory for a woman to take the consent of her father or her guardian if she wants to seek khul' or divorce, like how it's mandatory when getting married? The hadith of the Prophet ﷺ indicates that it is a must to seek the consent and approval of the guardian, who's usually the father of the bride, whenever there is a marriage contract. However, once she's married, she's literally on her own, as her guardian becomes her husband. So if life becomes difficult and she would opt for divorce, or if her husband is not willing to divorce her and she wants to opt out of this relationship by giving him back his dowry, which is known as khul', in this case, she does not need the consent of her father or her mother or anyone else, because this is her life. We cannot dictate upon a woman how to live her life after she's married, because that would be unjust and unfair. She's the one living with this beast or with this so-called man. And if life cannot go on, if he's abusive, if he's inconsiderate, if he doesn't show any compassion, if he claims to be God-fearing and righteous and jealous, yet he himself orders her to work and mix with non-mahram men on daily basis, and then claims that he doesn't want to divorce her because of his jealousy, no. This is where the Muslim judge or the Muslim ruler comes and draws the line and forces him to divorce and gives this woman her right of freedom. So, to answer your question, no, she's not obliged to seek the approval and consent of her father when life ceased to be possible to exist with such a man. However, she has to weigh the consequences, because if her father doesn't approve of it and he himself is a narcissist or someone who doesn't fear Allah Azza wa Jal, and she gets the khul', where would she go if she doesn't have any place to turn to or to harbor her? Then she would be in great trouble and problems. So she should do her due diligence before opting for such a decision, and Allah knows best.
Sheikh, if a man wants to get married and he found a good practicing woman and he wants to get married to her, but his parents don't give their consent because they want him to marry a woman of their choice who might not be good for his deen. So in this case, can he disobey his parents and marry without their consent?
First of all, we are ordered in Islam to obey our parents. And the Prophet had said, alayhi sallam, that the father is the middle gate of Jannah. And he told us that a man must give his good companionship to his mother 3 times, and one on the 4th to his father. Now, having said this, it is an obligation upon every Muslim, man or woman, to be dutiful, to be respectful and obedient to their parents, and to be patient and tolerant to whatever abuse they may express or show. Now, having said that, a man is obliged to choose the wife of his liking, not to his parents' liking, because he's the one who's going to be married to them or to her, not them. And he is obliged to provide the woman with a separate accommodation where she is not obliged to see his parents or to serve him or his siblings, etc. So this is the basics in Islam. It is not permissible for you to marry someone whom your parents are forcing you to marry if you don't like her, if you don't fancy her. Because I do counseling sessions. I've been doing this for a while with the grace of Allah, and I see the amount of problems after marriage from such choices. The guy says, I'm married for 5 years. It was an arranged marriage. My mom forced me to marry her. I did not like her. I was interested in marrying another woman, but they refused, so I accepted. Because they forced me to do this, they mentally blackmailed me. Now I have 3 children, and I can't live with my wife. And I just can't look at her. I can't be intimate with her. So the guy is putting a scenario where he leaves no room other than divorce. Now, what is the fault of this poor woman to be a single mom with 3 children? Oh, my mom ordered me. My mom forced me. If you are a mommy's boy, don't get married. If your mom tells you what to do and what not to do, and you're still suckling milk, don't get married until you are grown up. Marriage is a responsibility. You take a woman into this affair, you take care of her. You become her rock. She depends entirely upon you after Allah Azza wa Jal. If you fail to do this, you're sinful at the sight of Allah. Having said that, for you, Yusuf, to get married, we have to look at the circumstances. If you want to marry someone who's righteous and practicing and from a good family, but simply your parents or one of them is not accepting, we have to look at your circumstances. Are you financially independent? Yes, I am. Can you get married without their financial help? Yes, I can. Can you provide a separate accommodation for your wife? No, I can't. So you want to marry someone whom your parents don't like and bring her to their home? Forget about this. That is an actual nightmare for your mom and for this poor girl. So don't even think about it. What to do? Either convince them so that they willingly accept, or wait until you can provide a separate accommodation for your wife. Or compromise and agree to marry this woman, bearing in mind that you're stuck with her forever. So you have to walk the talk and try your level best to please her and to make it happen. And may Allah Azza wa Jal make a way out for all of you.
Sheikh, my wife's father passed away and she still has a sister unmarried. Who would be her wali then?
When a father passes away, the guardian or the wali of his daughter would be, number one, the paternal grandfather. Paternal, not maternal. The maternal cannot be a guardian or a wali in nikah, in marriage. If the grandfather does not exist, he's dead, then her guardian would be her son, if she has a son and he's an adult. If she doesn't have a son, her guardian would be her paternal brother that shares the same father or mother with her. And her paternal brother, who shares only the father and not the mother, in the presence of the full brother, cannot be her guardian. If she doesn't have any siblings, male siblings, then her paternal uncles would become her guardians. If she has no paternal uncles, then her paternal cousins, male cousins, the closest one to her, relative-wise, would be her guardian, and so on. If she has no one from her father's side at all, then the Muslim ruler or the Islamic judge or the one who represents them, and that is the authorized imam of the Islamic center, would become her guardian, and Allah Azza wa Jal knows best.